Doesn't it occur to you that gay relations, especially inside a hardened place, could instead be beneficial? Since it strengthens relations with fellow soldiers and also can settle disputes inside the military. There's also no confirmed or reasonable evidence that gays in the U.S. military seriously decrease the morale of the military. It's purely prejudice, just like the discrimination of blaming the Negro soldiers in World War II. Also, gays are proving to be just as affected humans as anybody, just like Negroes. Iraq War veteran and U.S. Representative Patrick Murphy, challenging a witness during Dadt.Mpg hearings in the U.S. House, said, "You're basically asserting that straight men and women in our military aren't professional enough to serve openly with gay troops while completing their military missions. You know, as a former Army officer, I can tell you, I think that's an insult to me and to many of the soldiers. To answer your questions, Mr. Jones, it was 24 countries that allow military personnel to serve openly without any detrimental impact on unit cohesion. In addition, gay soldiers do not undermine unit morale and cohesion. A 2006 Sogby International poll of military members found that 72% of respondents who had experience with gays or lesbians in their unit said that the presence of gay or lesbian unit members had either no impact or a positive impact on their personal morale, while 67% said as much for overall unit morale. 73% of respondents said that they felt comfortable in the presence of gay and lesbian personnel. Don't ask, don't tell undermines troop morale and unit cohesion, said by Kenneth Jost. He also stated that within the U.S. military, don't ask, don't tell has served rather than helped unit cohesion. For gay service members, the policy fosters suspicion of their colleagues and diminishes military comradeship at a time when more and more straight service members have no problem interacting with gays. Furthermore, professional troops can work with gays and focus on mission. The argument that the presence of gay troops will undermine morale and unit cohesion is premised on the idea that U.S. troops are unable to handle their emotions and maintain their professional focus in the presence of gay peers. This is an insult to the professionalism of U.S. soldiers. As the RAND Corporation concluded in a 2002 brief on the topic, it is necessary to like someone on the work with him or her, so long as members shared commitment to the group's objectives. Armies globally show viability of gays serving openly, said Dadt.Mpg. The efficacy of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was winning essay of the 2009 Secretary of Defense National Security Essay Competition, he stated that there are potential lessons to learn from other countries that have lifted on the ban on homosexuals serving openly. There was no mass exodus of heterosexuals, and there was also no mass coming out of homosexuals. Prior to lifting their bans in Canada, 62% of servicemen stated that they would refuse to share showers with a gay soldier, and in the United Kingdom, 2/3 of the males stated that they would willingly serve in the military if gays were allowed. In both cases, after lifting their bans, the result was no effect. 44 in a survey over 100 experts from Australia, Canada, Israel, and the UK, it was found that all agreed the decision to lift the ban on homosexuals had no impact on military performance, readiness, cohesion, or ability to recruit or retain, nor did it increase the HIV rate among troops. People have said publicly and privately that this is a good place for recall to be placed. Since one Democratic aide on the Hill, it would be reasonable to expect that repeal might be in this year's defense authorization, but we aren't assuming anything yet. Throughout its history, the U.S. military has had an inconsistent policy when it came to homosexuals in the military. Prior to World War II, there was no written policy barring homosexuals from serving, although sodomy was considered a crime by military law ever since Revolutionary War times. In 1778, Lieutenant Gottlob Frederick Eslin became the first soldier to be drummed out of the Continental Armies for sodomy. During World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War, the military defined homosexuality as a mental defect and officially barred homosexuals from serving based on medical criteria. However, when personnel needs increased due to combat, the military developed the habit of relaxing its screening criteria. Many homosexual men and women serviced honorably during these conflicts. Unfortunately, these periods were short-lived. As soon as the need for combat personnel decreased, the military would involuntarily discharge them. It wasn't until 1982 that the Department of Defense officially put in writing that homosexuality was incompatible with military service, when they published the DoD directive stating such. According to a 1992 report by the Government Accounting Office, nearly 1,700 men and women were discharged under the new directive during the 1980s. By the end of that decade, reversing the military's policy was emerging as a priority for advocates of gay and lesbian civil rights. Several lesbian and gay male members of the military came out publicly and vigorously challenged their discharges through the legal system. After lengthy public debate and congressional hearings, the President and Senator Sam Nunn, chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee, reached a compromise which they labeled "Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Don't Pursue." Under these terms, military personnel would not be asked about their sexual orientation and would not be discharged simply for being gay. However, having sexual relations or displaying romantic overtures with members of the same sex or telling anyone about their sexual orientation is considered homosexual conduct under the policy and is basis for involuntary discharge. We all know that when serving in the military, we go to serve our country and not to indulge in homosexual relationships. At the time, most military leaders and young enlisted folks who were forced to live in the barracks with a roommate took a conservative view about allowing gays to serve openly in the military. Up until now, a vote in Congress gave the White House and the Pentagon the heebie-jeebies. They did not want legislation repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell to move forward until this December at the earliest, to make way for the completion of a Pentagon-initiated study on how a repeal of the policy should be implemented. To conclude my point, delays are never a politically popular thing, and in this case, suggesting the legislation repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell be delayed until after the midterms was about as popular as that dude who takes 12 minutes to order his drink at Starbucks. In fact, the White House mishandling of the situation has drawn civil disobedient actions, calls to boycott giving money to the Democratic Party, a sign-on letter from LGBT people and straight allies taking the Obama administration and the Dems to task for inaction, and a daily series of letters, courtesy of the Service Members Legal Defense Network, showing the real damage that Don't Ask, Don't Tell has on the lives of thousands of soldiers. The question before us now is whether enough time has gone by to give these policy theories consideration. Much evidence suggests that it has.